All right, in this section, we're going to be looking at the nerves in the caudal half of the cat, all right? So we're going to start here looking ventrally, and then we're going to flip over and look at the dorsal aspect of the cat. Okay, so my first landmark nerve that I like for you guys to know in the ventral aspect of the cat is going to be right here in your psoas major, psoas minor, iliacus region. And this particular nerve is your femoral nerve. You can appreciate it right there, really pretty, diving out of that muscle. Okay, now if you trace your femoral nerve on down, what you'll be able to see is you'll see he splits. Okay, he comes on here and he dives into your quadriceps muscle. Really nice. You can appreciate that. Dives into your quadriceps muscle, and then he has a branch that comes off of him that comes right down into this region and runs down next to your saphenous vein, and that happens to be the saphenous nerve. Okay, so saphenous nerve runs down right there. Now, coming off your femoral nerve in this same area and running here to the middle part of your cat, you can appreciate these really small little nerve fibers. And what you'll see one, two, you can appreciate those tiny ones right there. These are your genitofemoral branches. All right, so now if we hold this cat open and look deep into the pelvic cavity, we're going to appreciate two different branches of nerves, okay? So this right here, if you look deep into the pelvic cavity, underneath the branches of the great vessels, your aorta and your caudal vena cava right here are going to be branching. If you're going to pull those out of the way, the first smaller nerve that you can see is your obturator nerve. And then if we dive down even deeper and look down in our pelvic cavity, what you're really going to appreciate down deep is going to be this very, very large branch down here. And that is your, if you can see him right there, that is your lumbosacral trunk. So lumbosacral trunk, and then if we come on up, obturator, lumbosacral trunk. All right, the next area that I want you to be familiar with, I'm going to turn the cat just so you can appreciate this a little bit better. The next area I want you to be familiar with is going to be right on the ventral aspect of the vertebral column. You're going to move your great vessels over to the side right here. And then what you'll notice right here on the ventral aspect of the vertebral column is two long chains, if you will, of nervous tissue. You've got one on each side. This is your sympathetic trunk or sympathetic chain. You've got one on this side and one on this side. You can see they've got small little enlargements on them. Those are your sympathetic ganglia. And they're super easy to recognize just because they're literally right under the aorta and the caudal vena cava if you push those over. All right. So now we want to go to the dorsal aspect of the cat. So once we go to the dorsal aspect of the cat, we're going to look at the more distal aspect nerves first, and then we will flip the cat around and look at some of the nerves that are right up there adjacent to the tail. So these distal aspect nerves that I want you to be able to see, we've got this large nerve running down until we see him split right here. This is your, if you're looking in your cat book, this is your ischiatic nerve. In you and I, we would simply call this our sciatic nerve. Very, very important nerve to know. You'll watch your sciatic. Your sciatic branches into two. You've got one coming here on the front of the leg, and then you've got one diving in deep on the back of the leg. This one coming to the front of the leg, this is your peroneal, your common peroneal nerve, and the one diving in deep is your tibial nerve. All right, so now moving on down, you'll watch the branch coming off of up here proximally off of your ischiatic or your sciatic. These are your muscular branches, okay? And then if we flip it over right here and we look, this branch coming off right here and diving into your biceps femoris muscle is your posterior femoral cutaneous nerve. Now, Let's move on up here to the nerves right in the area, in the region adjacent to the sacrum and the tail. The first set of nerves that we're going to look at, these are the nerves that are coming out and going into the more superior or cranial gluteal area muscles, and these are your superior gluteals. You can appreciate those right there. And then as we come on back, if we found our superior gluteals, it would make sense we want to find our inferior or caudal gluteal. So this particular cat, we had cut those muscles off completely, but you can appreciate there's a nerve right there coming off and diving in. If we still had these muscles right here, we'd be able to flip it up and we could see the caudal or posterior gluteal nerve a lot easier. That's right there. Okay. So now if we continue to turn our cat kind of to the side and we pull the tail over and we're diving and we're literally looking in between the two wings of the pelvis, what you can appreciate right here is going to be your pudendal nerve. Your pudendal nerve runs down to the anus, okay? So you've got your pudendal nerve right there. That's an extremely important, medically extremely important nerve to know. All right, guys, so I think that gives you a really good foundation for the nerves and the caudal aspect of the cat, and hopefully you all can review all of these nerves and also review your APR and be in a good place for your exam. Thank you very much.